Hello, my name is Lynn Gillespie, and I will be your guide to discover the 12 high-performance garden characteristics with weekly training videos. A high-performance garden is one of the most fun, productive, and organic gardening experiences you will ever have. A garden that is enjoyable, weed-free, productive, and so very easy to achieve. Okay, today we're going to talk about Abundance Garden Tool number 3. That tool is Mulch, and we're going to go over all the great properties that we can get with the mulch. Now, you've seen us mulch all the gardens, and I'm a true believer in mulch. So mulch does 4 things for a garden. 1, it suppresses weeds. 2, it holds in the moisture. 3, it feeds the worms and the microbes. And 4, it makes the garden look great. So I have around me some of the different items that I've used in the past, and I'll go over each item and show you the good and the bad and the ugly about it. So the first item that I have here is, this is weed barrier. And what we've done with the weed barrier is we've taken it and we've burned holes in it, and that's so that the plants can grow up through it. So we take the weed barrier, lay it down in the bed, put it down with some rocks, and then just plant the plants right in the holes. Now, instead of burning the holes, you can actually just take a pair of scissors and just cut an X in it. We just happened to have a hot pipe, and it was very quick for us to just go through and burn the holes. This works good if you're doing a very large garden and have a lot of stuff to work with, but the only thing it really does is suppress the weeds. It doesn't hold any moisture in, it's black, it gets really hot. It doesn't feed the worms and the microbes, and the garden really doesn't look that great with it, but it does suppress weeds. So this is one type of mulch that you can use. The next mulch that I've tried is sawdust or wood chips. We have a wood mill around here where we can get sawdust. The sawdust is not good at suppressing weeds, so if I put the sawdust on the garden, the weeds, because the particles are so small, just find their way right up through it. So if you're dealing with weeds, the sawdust is not really good. But the sawdust does hold in moisture, it does feed the worms and the microbes, and it does make the garden look pretty good. So sawdust has 3 out of 4, which is better than the weed barrier, which only has 1 out of 4. Okay, some of the next things that I've done is newspaper. In desperate times, you do desperate things. So what I have here is strips of newspaper that have been soaked in water. This is like 3 layers thick. You can take the newspaper and you can thread it right between your plants, especially like things like green beans. You can go one direction. You can take this in here and put it in, make it look kind of like a grid. This actually does suppress the weeds very well. It would hold in moisture, it would feed the worms and the microbes, but it looks terrible. The other thing about it is if it dries out, then the wind will pick it up and throw it around your yard. So, you know, if you can't find anything else, this is something that you can use, but still not my favorite. So moving on. Next thing we have here, this is straw. Now, straw is not hay, it's not alfalfa. Straw is a byproduct of growing cereal grains. You can see it's nice bright yellow. If you get hay, it should be green. And if you get first cutting hay, it'll have grass seed in it, which will then germinate in your bed. Straw has some pretty good attributes. When you put it on, it's a little bulky, a little thick. It would be good around the bigger plants, be a little more difficult to work with around the little plants. Straw will suppress weeds if you get it on thick enough, and I mean thick. Some of our gardens we use it up to 6 inches thick, and I will show you that in a little bit. It does hold in moisture very, very well. Does a great job with that. It feeds the worms, feeds the microbes, and if you put it on nice and thick, it does look pretty good. So Straw is a pretty good one to use. The only thing you got to watch for is sometimes you'll find the seed heads and you'll actually get some cereal grains, some barley or some wheat actually growing in your garden. Okay, and the last one that I've used is grass clippings. This is my very most favorite in the whole wide world. And as you've noticed, I've used it on all the gardens. What I love about grass clippings is when you put them on nice and thick, put them on about an inch thick, when they're green, they will mat and lock together and stick down to the soil, and that really stops the weeds. It is amazing how many weeds you can stop with that. They hold lots of moisture. They feed the worms and the microbes, and I think they make the garden look great. So my number one choice is grass clippings. Most everyone has a lawn. The only thing you need to make sure is that you're growing your lawn organically. So if you need to feed your lawn, use your compost and your compost teas. That's all the lawn needs. And you'll have tons of grass clippings, and it'll be nice and organic for your garden. So be sure that you're mulching. You don't want to have to weed your garden. That's just way too much work. You want to keep your microbes well fed and keep your water down by holding in all the moisture. All right, here we are in one of our commercial grow beds. I wanted to show you how we use mulch in these beds. As you can see, we have the cabbage plants here, and this mulch is thick all the way down about 6-8 inches. And when we grow this way, we're pretty much weed free, holds all the moisture in, and this brings in tons of worms. And we know that when we have the worms working in the soil, that we have all the other microbes also working in the soil as well. We have the whole spectrum. Want access to more videos like this? Click the link in the description below this video to join the High Performance Garden community for free. Community members receive weekly high-performance garden video trainings, articles, and trade secrets delivered directly to your inbox. Do you know anyone else who is frustrated and struggling with their garden? Share this video so they can begin to transform their garden into a high-performance garden too. They'll thank you later. If you want to transform your garden into a high-performance garden in one season, you can enroll in the Abundance Garden course, the only gardening course where you can garden step by step with your gardening coach. Click the link in the description below this video to learn more about the Abundance Garden course. If you have a topic you would like us to make a video about, please send us an email. Or if you have a gardening question, you can also email us at thelivingfarm@tds.net. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. May your garden be easy, fun, productive, and always organic.